News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Karen, it's day 26 of the war with Iran, but hopes are building for a diplomatic solution. President Trump says talks are underway to try to end the fighting.
We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal.
President Trump spoke from the White House as the U.S. has drafted a deal to bring the conflict to a close. We get the details from Bloomberg's Jumana Bersetchi in Dubai.
A 15-point proposal has been submitted to the Iranians via Pakistan. This 15-point proposal is very similar to some of the terms that the U.S. had set out prior to the war even started, reiterating some of the key points, a commitment not to pursue nuclear weapons, dismantling of key nuclear sites, limited missile program, and abandonment of proxy funding. But there is one new element, and that is the U.S., of course, are insisting on a full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz.
Bloomberg's Jumana Bersetchi reports Iran has yet to comment formally on the proposal. It did keep up drone and missile attacks on Israel and Gulf Arab states overnight. At the same time, Bloomberg News has learned that the Trump administration's ordered about 2,000 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne to deploy to the Middle East. Officials have not said what they'll be used for, but they could play support roles or lead the way for a ground attack.
Well, Nathan, we are seeing oil decline over the latest developments. Right now, NYMEX crude oil is down 5.25%. It's at $87.47 a barrel. Brent, it's at $98.89. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink was asked by the BBC what the long-term consequences of the war might be.
If there's a cessation of war, and yet Iran remains a threat to trade, a threat to the Straits of Hormuz, then I would argue that we could have years of, above $100, closer to $150 oil.
What happens to the global economy if that happens? How do we see it?
We'll have global recession.
And Larry Fink added he could see high oil prices affecting the expansion of AI in the U.S. and Europe.
And if the war continues, Karen, United Airlines is warning its customers they may have to pay more for tickets. CEO Scott Kirby spoke with Bloomberg's Lisa Abramowitz in Los Angeles.
There will be less demand. There'll be fewer people traveling as prices go up. That's part of our cut capacity 5%. When airfares have to go up because of oil prices, there are going to be some people that choose not to fly, and it'd be naive not to realize that. If oil prices stayed where they are today, that's $11 billion of expense for us. And that would require prices to be up 20% to break even.
United CEO Scott Kirby says at the moment demand remains very strong. You can catch the full conversation on the new video experience on the Bloomberg Business app.
Well, Nathan, we now turn to the latest on that deadly plane crash at LaGuardia Airport. A system designed to help air traffic controllers monitor vehicles and airplanes on the ground failed to alert personnel before an Air Canada Express jet collided with a fire truck, killing the two pilots. Federal investigators say one of only two air traffic controllers on duty cleared a fire truck to cross a runway just 12 seconds before the flight touched down. Here's National Transportation Safety Board Jennifer Homendy.
The controller in charge was also doing the duties of the clearance delivery position. The clearance delivery controller provides pilots with their departure clearance.
And that's National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy, who says among the areas being explored are whether the common practice of two controllers on duty overnight is enough.
Turning to the nation's capital now, Karen, Senate Democrats have rejected the latest offer from President Trump and Republicans to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security and end a lengthy shutdown that has snarled airport security checkpoints and threatened to ripple through an economy already roiled by war. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats will send a counteroffer to Republicans.
Republicans can hopefully now come back to the table and get serious about reaching a solution to pay TSA workers ASAP.
Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer says the GOP plan does not include any of the policy reforms in immigration and customs enforcement that they've insisted on. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I can tell you the House has funded DHS twice. We're prepared to do it again, completely fund the entire department. That is a responsible way to do this thing, so we've been very resistant to any idea to break it apart.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says the Republican offer would have funded 94% of DHS, but leave out $5.5 billion for ICE enforcement.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.